I think that before you understand religion, we should all focus on understanding something that most of us can agree on.
Go.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Josh Lang. I am your host alongside my best friend, Davion Shelton.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? You're back at the studio. We're gonna talk some football, some sports today. Honestly, a lot happened over the last week. We got to get into it.
Yeah, it was a crazy week. We got a little bit of fun NFL, exciting week 17. It's always a good time of year. You know, the games get a little bit more intense. Some of them do, and then some turn into just complete garbage. It's like, what
Yeah.
are we even doing here?
Yeah, what I like about this time of year is you see a big pickup in the defenses. In our case where we're Bears fans, our game, there wasn't a lot of defense being played, but outside of that, a lot of the defense are being picked up right now. Love to see that around the league right now.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think it's just like interesting because you see it like really buckle down. You see the playoff teams, anyone who's super serious about their year, they're like really locking in and like the pressure's on. You can tell in the media, they're asking them all these questions. They're like nitpicking
hmm
everything.
hmm
And then you just have like other teams like the Giants or like the Raiders. And
Yeah.
like the Raiders right now, it's just talking about how old Pete Carroll is and just
Well,
like,
that and
how,
the Max Crosby draws,
yeah.
the Max Crosby drama going on right now. I don't know if you saw this, but after they put him on IR to end this season, he took to Instagram and he was posting pictures of him like shooting a basketball, like jumping on a trampoline. Clearly a fuck you to the organization. Like, I'm not injured like you guys say I am. But I don't know, he has to have surgery too, so who knows if it's all a ploy or what it may be.
Yeah, that was no, I love that move by him. Honestly, I respect the hell out of it. Just
hmm
like going, like clearly he did that on purpose, and it's so funny. And just like going in there and just being like, you know what, fuck you guys. You don't want to play me. I'm just gonna show everybody I'm really not that hurt. I could easily be
No,
out there
he was
and
actually
still play.
swishing threes and shit too.
No,
Like
he
I
had a
didn't know he was
jumper.
good like that. Yeah, it was
It,
weird. It was really
no, it was
weird.
it was a little bit of an ugly shot, but like
Mm.
it was going in.
It was going in,
I
so I
was
can't
watching. I
flaunt
was
it.
like, what the fuck?
hmm
Like, okay, okay, Max
Multi-sport,
Crosby, okay,
multi-sport.
Max. But yeah, no, I love hearing it. Obviously, we're Bears fans, so like that's exciting for us. We
Mm.
want him to come to the Bears. The last thing I want to hear is like the Vikings get him or like the Lions or something like that. If another team in our division gets an elite pass rusher and we
Mm.
don't, I'm going to be pretty upset. But no,
Yeah.
I think it is great news for anyone that is a Bears fan or really anyone in the NFL in general because
Mm.
Max Crosby being on the Raiders is a
Wasting his
curse
talent.
it's a
Wasting
curse
his
to
talent.
society. It
Yeah.
ruins the league. He has all those tattoos for no reason. The guy, he,
He's being
he's
wasted. The thing is, at least with someone like Miles Garrett on the Browns, the Browns are ass, but at least he's breaking records or setting records. I know players say that, oh, that's not what I'm in it for. That's not what I'm trying to do, but we're all human. You definitely think about that shit. Like you definitely want your name played. Why do you think he was going so hard these last few games? The Steelers made an entire game plan to make sure he didn't get a sack. They did that so hard that they lost the game. So it's like
yeah,
well,
I
come
that
on.
was ridiculous. The Steelers selling out just to shut him down is hilarious.
It's funny. From the
I do
organization,
respect
it's
it.
funny.
It's a really petty move, and I just can picture Mike Tomlin just being like, you know what, fuck this shit. Our season's been a mess, but we're not. No one is setting a record on us, and
Yeah.
that was probably the whole. The whole speech, they all practice long was just like each player taking turns trying to rush the quarterback against their O line, just like
hmm
block it, block, like do your
I don't know
best.
if you saw A-Rod throughout the game too, but every time he even got a hint of Miles Garrett approaching, he just chucked the ball. He's like, I'm just not gonna. There was one play you can watch where he literally saw him coming and he threw it, then he instantly like ducked down, so he couldn't even touch him. It was
Yeah,
just like, what are we doing here? Like this is all charades right now. Like what are we doing?
yeah, I do. I think it is funny from Mike Tomlin, and it's a petty move. It is kind of a bitch move as well.
Yeah. Let him
Like
break the record. And he
yeah,
was going for it in the 16 games too. So now when he does break it, there's always going to be that he didn't do it in the right amount of games. So now you just set him up for that, which is like,
oh, undoubtedly,
what's your
undoubtedly.
thoughts on that? Do you think with the new 17 games, do you think records, do you think they have as big of an impact if it takes 17 games instead of 16?
I don't know. That actually really is something that is interesting, and this was coming up last year when Saquon was coming up on the rushing record. I like it. is a good debate because it brings me to the NBA and why the NBA for so long has been like refusing to change from 82 games. They don't want to mess with like
Hmm.
records or stats or like anything like that, which I do totally respect. And I think that there is to a degree some sensibility in that. The NFL, on the other hand, I I don't know. I think record wise, it does kind of dilute how exciting it is. Like it's not really it's not as impressive when you get an extra game and for I don't know. There has to be some kind of like adjustment
Yeah.
for games. So like add an average in there. I
I
don't
think
know.
the only thing that it added was first off the debate between 16 and 17 if it's as important or not. But also it gets viewership up because now they're like, man, he's got to get it this 16th game, like or otherwise it's not going to count. It's not going to count. So it kind of adds that aspect to it. But overall, I got to lean more towards if you do it in 17, you have the record. You know, your name is plated in gold. But it definitely cannot carry the same weight as someone who did it in 16 in my mind because I mean they did it in one entire less game than you. I know injuries happen, things like that happen, long seasons, but I definitely feel like you have the record. That no one can take that from you. But bragging rights, could you brag as hard as someone who did it in 16? There's no way. There's no way you could brag as hard.
Yeah, no, I agree. That part of it is always like it puts a little asterisk on it, which kind of sucks. Is like,
Hmm.
yeah, this person has the record, but like the person they passed up did it in less games. Like,
Hmm.
and but that also kind of just goes with like it like the league changes like in
It
all
does.
sports like it develops, it becomes this new beast over time, and like everything changes. Like for example, Steph Curry going from setting all these 3-point records to now like his records are all going to be blown out of the water just by like centers and just like
And
anybody
yeah,
in the
the
league
NBA just
just
changes how it works right now. Everybody is shooting threes, and an enormous amount of them. Your team, the Celtics, they live or die by the three. Most of the
yeah
time, live, unfortunately
yeah
for Lakers fans, but hey,
except
they
for
live or
die
die by
last
it.
last
Yeah,
year in the
except
playoffs.
last year,
Yeah,
yeah.
except for the playoffs, they died bad. But yeah, I'm rooting for Miles Garrett. I do hope that he pulls it out. He still needs one more,
Who do they
but
play this
in the
week?
last game, that is actually. Let me look at our agenda. It looks like we get
Is it the
Browns.
Broncos? Or not Broncos, it's Bengals maybe? Let me see.
Oh, it is the. They play on Sunday against the Bengals. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I mean he should be
Yeah,
fine. Joe
Joe
Burrow gets
Burrow.
hit all the time. Yeah, he
Yeah,
should be
yeah,
fine there.
yeah. Joe could dish him one. You know, he's used
Yeah,
to taking a couple sacks.
yeah. Give him an easy one.
I'm sure they'll get a little something.
Mhm.
But no. Moving on.
Straight into the game. We'll start with the December 25th games. We had Broncos, Chiefs. Not gonna harp on this too much outside of the fact that I didn't like what I saw from the Broncos. You guys are supposed to be a championship caliber team. That division too is still up for grabs. They're tied with fucking the Patriots right now. Had they lost that game to the Chiefs, they would have been hurt. And you know, you go 2013 versus a Chiefs team with the backup QB. What does that say about, first off, your defense? You're supposed to have an all-star defense. They put up 13 points on you. You're supposed to have a good offense. You put up 20 points on them. Not looking great if you're a Broncos fan. They're probably fine. I don't want to read too much into it, but it's just not a good look as we head into the playoff stretch.
Yeah, yeah, I would be nervous if I was a Broncos fan. Things have been getting a little sketchy for them
Hmm.
recently. I feel like they started off the year as this crazy dominant defense. They were like on pace to break the Ravens, like 2000 Ravens sack record, and they were just going to be this just ridiculous team. And as the year went on, they didn't really look that good.
No.
And Bo Nix himself like has these moments. He's kind of like Caleb, where like well, really a lot like Caleb, where a lot of the game is just like, oh, what is that? Or like there's
Yeah.
just these sketchy moments or weird things happen. And then it comes to the fourth quarter, it matters the most. And like, it's like, holy shit.
He
Like
can
this
be a bit
guy,
volatile. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, which, is a risky game to play. It comes with its pros and cons, but I mean, they're having a good year. At this point, it is looking like they're going to get the one seed. I think actually they have it officially. What I will say about just Christmas Day games in general was that I was honestly surprised. They were way
I
more
thought those games
competitive.
would be ass. I thought those games,
Way
we're really
more
going to the
competitive
first
than I
one
thought.
right now, but they were way, way, way more competitive. But speaking of that, you know, just to bridge off of the Broncos, the next one, who do we have? Vikings, Lions? Surprising to say the least.
No,
Vikings won
yeah,
that
super
game.
awesome.
51 yards he threw for it, and they won that game. That not only won that game, they controlled that entire game. They controlled that entire game from the stretch. 23-10 win over the Lions. For Bears fans, that's not great going into this week. They're going to come out with some ferocity. I'm not too worried. I mean, we're playing great football right now. We just went toe to toe with the 49ers. We'll talk about that game. Great game. But Vikings surprised me, to say the least. I didn't think they would win that game. Not for a second. Till
Yeah,
it
no,
started, at
Mac,
least.
watching Max Brosmer play, it's just hilarious to me. I don't
Mhm.
know, watching the quarterback play in general for the Vikings is just funny this year. Just being division rivals, it's just like comical watching them struggle and just like, especially Max Brosmer. Like, you got to feel kind of bad for the guy. He just like, he goes out there, he does his thing, but you can just tell like he is
Yeah.
way in over his head. Like, he's trying, he's fighting out there, but like, I saw some ridiculous stats about him just having like the lowest passing yard, like
Yeah.
lowest efforts ever in a win to and got it done, which is just so funny and sums up just the Lions season just completely collapsing too, just falling out.
It's also just really goofy for the Vikings because it's so self-inflicted for wounded. Like, I don't understand why they even wanted to consider JJ being the guy when you have a guy who just led you to what, a 13-4 season, I think they went last year, something around there. He's still the guy. He's still performing at a high level right now. So it's just funny to watch them self-inflict wounds like that because they're in the same division. So
Oh yeah, it's bad.
mhm,
Things only get worse and worse as the Seahawks look better and better in that
mhm.
one seed spot. So life is not easy for Vikings fans. But the final game from Christmas Day, we did have Cowboys versus Commanders, which is another one that I
Surprising
yeah,
game. We on the
like
last pod were talking about Bill. We are like, man, he came and he left. That boy had two touchdowns,
dude.
two monster touchdowns at that. Like they were
Dude,
not some easy runs. They were monster touchdowns.
he heard us hating. No, I'm a Bill Dynasty owner, and I nicknamed him on Sleeper like 2 or 3 weeks ago, just kind of out of the blue. I was just like bored, so I just randomly nicknamed him Ass, just just Ass,
He
because
had something to say about that.
he's cost him in many games. Since naming him Ass, he has scored like 15 plus fantasy points every game. I think
Yeah.
like it's been ridiculous, and he was going crazy. He was tearing the Cowboys up.
Not just that, the guy they had in at QB, Johnson, he was playing pretty good too. For I think
Yeah,
is he a second or
Jay.
third string? He's a third
Yeah,
string, right?
yeah. Josh Johnson. That
Yeah.
guy. He was.
He played pretty well.
Yeah, that is their third string quarterback. The guy has played for like every team in the league. He got drafted, I think, in 2008,
Yeah, it's
and this guy
ridiculous.
was out there
He's balling.
balling. I mean,
He
no,
wants to get paid. Now,
he is.
balling, we'll use balling
Yeah,
lightly, you know what I mean? But he was
he's
playing
going.
very well.
No, I mean for a third string, that's really respectable and like good enough to get a contract. Now it was against an Eberflus defense.
Hmm.
When
Been struggling all year.
You have Matt Eberflus as your defensive coordinator in any coaching role whatsoever, you are in for misery.
I'm
The
so
guy
so
is just
surprised
an idiot.
they gave him the money for that role, man.
Yeah,
Especially after what was happening to the I can't even really get into that. But next up, we'll go past Christmas Day. We'll get into the Saturday games. Pretty eventful Saturday, at least for Bears fans. Ravens went in there, put in work. They rode the back of Derrick Henry, and he provided. Not just from, the football game itself, from a fantasy standpoint. I know he won a lot of people, a lot of games, 50 something
definitely.
odd points. Absolutely ridiculous. How many touchdowns did he get? Was it three or
Four,
four?
four
Four
touchdowns.
touchdowns. Four touchdowns on Green Bay. One thing I will say for Green Bay, though, they're not going to pay Malik Willis, but whoever does get him, they got a stud. I think that he can lead a team. We said this last week. He proved it again this week. I think that he can
Dude,
truly lead a team, whether it be Cardinals, whether it be no Saints have their guy in Tyler now. He's just absolutely balling.
balling. I
Um,
love the
Man,
Cardinals.
Cardinals might be a good fit for him.
I
He's
love
a
the
better
idea of
Kyler
him being
Murray
on
at
the
this point.
Cardinals.
He can run, he can gun. He's a good QB for their system.
Yeah, I love the idea of him being on the Cardinals. I think it makes sense. It like kind of fits in my head. I was also thinking
Mm.
this earlier today. If Matt Stafford retires after this year, could he be the successor in the McVay offense for the Rams? That
Man,
would be
he would be inheriting a great, great, great opportunity if he were to go over there. I'm telling
that.
you, that's how you put your name on the map because they have weapons. I mean, look at them right this year. If you lose your QB, if he
Dude,
can fit right in and they can make plays for him, I think that offense could get even more explosive because he can actually run with the ball. Staffy's not running too much nowadays, but if you have someone that McVay, he has the passing offense down. Now, if you have a QB who can also run, you can QB sneak, you can do draws with him, that offense becomes even more elite. There's a lot you can do with that there. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that was something I was just brainstorming up a little bit earlier today. I was like, that could be interesting.
Mm,
But yeah, no, I mean, Malik Willis, congrats, buddy. You got yourself paid. Shout
mhm.
out to you. I'm glad you're not the backup for the Packers anymore. So every time Jordan Love's a little bitch in the game and leaves, we have an actual backup quarterback playing against us for once.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out the Ravens for shredding them up and embarrassing the
Shout out the
shit out of
Ravens for
them.
also rocking the cheese graters hat. I hope that keeps making its way around the league. People keep doing it.
Absolutely.
The people who made that small business, they gotta be just
Dude,
walking on sunshine right now. I
makes it
mean, they
even
hit it
better.
big. They hit it
Yeah,
big, yeah.
makes
The
the
fact that
whole
it's not a
situation
big
even better.
company, the fact that it's not like the NFL who made them, it's literally just a small company. I like that a lot,
Yeah, shout out the cheese grater hat people.
man.
You guys are
Yeah, shout them
legends.
out, shout them out.
You deserve it all. Keep it going. Keep it going. But yeah, we'll move on from that. Shout out the Ravens. But
Texans,
te
Chargers.
Texans, they locked themselves into the playoffs and they bounced out the Colts too in this win.
Yeah, they did. They did, which is pretty big for them. What I will say, 2016 win over the Chargers. I want to like the Chargers. They have some people I like, but they're not cutting it right now. They look pretty beat up. Granted, their QB has a broken hand. He doesn't throw with that hand, but he has a broken hand. Give him the
Dude,
benefit of the doubt, but the Chargers could have been something great this year, and they just have not been able to put the pieces together.
yeah, their O line being all banged up and injured has killed them, and
Killed
it
them
like
completely.
it shows so badly. Like you rarely see such an immediate and effective impact on a team like that when it comes to like a guy or two going down. Like when Joe Alt is not in the game for the Chargers,
It's bad
Justin Herbert is fighting for his life. This dude, the
every time.
entire game is like being like dragged to the ground by two to three guys, and he's just
Mhm.
like, ugh, just
It's bad.
chucks one like 50 yards. The guy is a beast. I respect the hell out of Justin
I
Herbert
do
for
too.
fighting. I mean, he's got Madison Beer on his arm. The
I don't
she
know.
must
He
be
had that with
motivating him.
Jackson Dart earlier. I mean, hey, that might be in the question depending on his gameplay from here on out.
Oh, that was so amazing. That was such a
From a
legendary.
rookie QB too. Goofy.
But no, I Texans defense is legit. I mean, they're going to cause problems in the playoffs. We both have a little future on them. I bet on them
Yeah.
too. After you sent that screenshot, I
Their
had to
odds are really good.
sprinkle.
Their odds are really good.
Yeah, I like their defense, and out of the AFC, I think anyone could come out. I think that it
And the
really
thing
is going to be
is,
anyone's game.
Stroud, although this year and the half part of last year, he didn't play too well, but he did have a really, really good rookie season. If he can tap back into that with this type of defense, they would be scary. Now, is there enough time for him to tap back into that this season? Doubtful. But if he somehow does, that's a very scary team right there.
Yeah, I agree. Stroud has got to step it up. I don't know what has gone on with him. He had that crazy rookie year. It seems like maybe Jaden Daniels is following in his footsteps as well. But I
Yeah.
just like that flash in the pan, that one hit wonder season, and then
hmm
like mediocre from there. But we'll see. Both of them very young, especially Jaden, but Stroud too.
Yeah.
These guys can turn it around. But yeah, we can
Move
wrap
on
that
past
up
that. Next up, we have
Sunday.
Seahawks versus Panthers. Seahawks take the W 27-10. I went into this knowing the Seahawks would win the game, but I still thought the Panthers would put up a bit more of a fight. So them getting, demolished like that was a bit surprising, but Seahawks take it. They're looking more and more like a possible Super Bowl winner as the season goes on. So hats off to them. I didn't really have much for that game.
Yeah, it was kind of just a weird one. I mean, like Bryce Young just goes from he has these insane games where he just like does the most ridiculous stuff. He's just like making crazy passes, like bobbing, weaving, throwing great balls. And then like other times where he just vanishes and
I
just
think
becomes
it's a mental
terrible.
thing.
It
I think it's a
it is
mental
so
thing.
weird. It
I
is the
think some
weirdest
games
thing.
he's just not as locked in as he possibly could be. Of course, I'm from the outside looking in. I don't know what goes on in the locker room, but some games that's how it appears to me. He's just not as locked in. He's not as wanting to get the win as he is in other games because you can tell when he's on, he's on. He's making these insane throws. He's got some powerful runs, explosive runs. And then other games he's missing wide open passes. Sometimes he's just holding the ball too long. Sometimes he doesn't use his legs enough. Like I feel like he should. Um, and it just doesn't look bad for the Panthers. Doesn't look good for the Panthers, excuse me.
Yeah, yeah, they're a weird team. I like they randomly show up and just beat good teams, so I'm not putting it past them to possibly win a playoff game, especially depending on who they play. I think that if they do end up playing the Seahawks, which is possible if the Seahawks lose next week, that they'll probably lose that game. I don't think that they have what it takes to overcome that
Not in the
defense, which
bright
is
lights.
so ferocious.
Not in the
But
bright lights.
I weirdly could see a world where they beat the Niners. I just like weirdly see some
That
crazy, just
offense
like
for
what
the
happened with
Niners,
us, but
explosive,
like
man.
yeah, like Jesus.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll come back to
We'll come
them.
back
But
to
no,
them, yeah.
27-10, Seahawks got the dub. Seahawks are clinching that one seed probably. I'm
Mhm.
pretty confident in that. But
Next
yeah,
up, we got Bengals 37, Cardinals 14. Once again, not a whole lot for this game. You know, hats off to the Bengals, but their season is kind of in a dumps too. So it's like, yeah, both of these teams are kind of in a dump. So I don't really have a lot to say about it outside of Jacoby Brissett's definitely not the guy for the Cards. If I were the Cards head office, I'm definitely going for the Packers backup. I cannot think of his name. We're just talking about
Malik
him.
Willis.
Malik Willis, so we are just talking about him, but I would definitely go for him. Because Jacoby Brissett's not the guy. Kyler Murray is seeming like he's not the guy either. He's been there for at least 4 or 5 years now, and he hasn't really done shit with that time. So
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a mess over there for the Cardinals and honestly the Bengals. These are two teams that are kind of lost in just kind of a circular, just running in circles, not
yeah,
really accomplishing anything. And I think that both of these teams could look pretty different in the near future. I could see a lot changing, especially for the Cardinals. I think that those young pieces like Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, even Michael Wilson, Jesus.
mhm.
But like some of these younger guys, I think that they're great, but they need to do a huge overhaul, move around a lot. Same thing with the Bengals. I mean, they just like I don't know, two teams not making
They're
it
not
work,
going
and
anywhere, but they have a
and
lot
they're
of
not in the
talent.
playoffs.
They have a lot of talent, but they're not going anywhere at all.
Yeah,
Moving on past them, though, we got Saints versus Titans. A bit of a thriller towards the end, but it was 34-26 in that game. All I have to say is, if Tyler Show wins another game, he could be Rookie of the Year. A lot of people think Tet is the guy. I don't know how good. I mean, okay, Tet has played very well throughout the season, but he's also been
beast.
very, very quiet throughout the season in certain games. I feel like Tyler Show, he's about to win 6 straight as a QB, as a rookie QB at that. That is pretty fucking impressive, if you ask me, versus the Saints team that wasn't supposed to be shit. Your star running back in Alvin Kamara injured early when he was playing. He wasn't playing great. So that what he's being able to do right now is huge. I love the connection between him and Juwan Johnson. I think that that's
Yeah,
going to be big for them going over. He feeds Olave as well. Like he's a well-rounded QB. I really like him. And hats off to the Saints, man. I thought they were dead to grass this year. They're about to have what 6 wins on the season. I mean, that's pretty impressive for a team I thought was maybe get 3 or 4.
yeah, no, I respect it. I will give it even to the Titans. They fought way harder. I was watching this game. I
Yeah.
had some bets on Shuck because I knew he was going to go hard. But
hmm
but as Tyler said, Shuck with me, I got
Did he actually say
it.
that?
No, no,
I was gonna say that's got to
no.
be minus a
It would
contract
be.
bonus or something. Like we got to take something
It
out.
would be hilarious if just like in a press conference he just comes up to the mic and he goes, "Shuck with me, I'm about it," and then
Saints
just
fans, if you're watching this, you got to get on the merch. It could be like the cheese grater hat, people. You got to get on the merch for it.
oh, that would be
Yeah.
so funny if he just said that, like, especially like he's just such a white guy, like just saying that and just walking off, like it would just be hilarious.
Oh
Just,
yeah, that's viral. That's viral.
but no, no, hats off to the Saints for pulling it off to clean it up because they were a joke earlier in the year.
Yeah. Next, we got the Pats versus the Jets. Once again, not a lot to say because everyone expected this outcome. It's the fucking Jets. The Jets still, to this day, do not have an interception on the season. They have
They're
one
not getting
game.
one.
They have one game left to
It's
do it,
not happening.
and they will set history. Once again, going back to what we talked about earlier, The old record was people got it in 16 games. The fact that they have 17 games to get one pick and you have a defensive minded head coach, that ain't gonna be looking great. That is not
That
gonna
is the
bode well.
that is the biggest thing to me. You literally hired a DC as your head coach. What is going on? Why
Well,
you had Sauce Gardner on your team for half the year? Everyone claims that this guy's such a good cornerback.
yeah,
No picks, no
none.
like. I get your team was ass, but like,
Well, I'm also thinking now, I don't know how much they paid Fields. Probably, well, definitely way more than what they should have. But I wonder if they should get the Packers backup QB. They got pieces too in Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson. They got guys. They got that tight end too that has been pretty good this year. I can't think of
Mason
his name.
Taylor, yeah.
Mason Taylor. They got pieces over there. They got
Yeah,
pieces.
they are interesting. I think Brees Hall is going to be out. He's a free
Oh
agent this
yeah, it's
offseason.
contract year,
But
yeah.
that actually is a good point. I could maybe see them go all in on Malik Willis. I think there will definitely be a bidding war for him. I
Oh,
think a lot of
definitely.
teams,
It makes he's gonna get
especially
paid, dude. He's about to
like
get
we'll see.
paid.
Yeah, I just because like I don't know. I feel like this rookie class of quarterbacks, like with Fernando Mendoza and all them, like I don't see much of the hype there. And like other than that, it's gonna be like Malik Willis is available, and I don't know Billy
Shit, maybe
Zappi.
Joe Burrow at this point. Shit, they might be able to
Yeah.
get his ass with everything going on.
Oh, that would be insane. The Jets get Joe Burrow. That would be
He would
nuts.
never go there though. That's a
No.
poverty franchise. I wouldn't even want him to
Oh,
go there.
no, me either. I would be upset. I would definitely be bummed out.
Yeah, enough
But yeah,
about the Jets and Pats though.
yeah,
Drake
yeah,
May,
no.
we got Dolphins Bucks. Another interesting game. 2017 Bucks. Just like
Bucks
last
are
week,
frauds.
we were talking about, dude, the Bucks are on a slide. They're on an insane slide. Probably the biggest slide. Well, I don't know because the Colts, man, Colts slid so hard, but the Bucks,
Ooh,
the
that is
Bucks
kind of
just,
an interesting debate, though.
the Bucks
Who
are
is a
just
bigger
in.
side?
I mean, definitely the Bucks because the Colts lost their starting QB. Okay, that
Yeah, you're
gives
right,
them some grace.
actually.
Granted, I
There
don't
was a lot of
think
injuries on the
there's a
Bucks
lot of
too, but
injuries there, but
not not really their QB like that. Like
no.
Baker's still playing. I think Baker did get hurt a little bit, but like he's still been out there. They did have Teddy Bridgewater for a game.
Mm,
That was pretty miserable.
yeah,
But like other than that, like I would agree. I do think that the Bucks, like especially they play in just the most horrible division
yeah.
ever. Like what they are currently battling with the Panthers to lose games to not make the playoffs. It's like neither team wants to be there. They're both like, you win.
And they
Win.
have
Just
one of the
take it
best
from us.
stadiums in the league too. Like you're just wasting it.
Dude,
You're wasting the
fire the
potential.
cannons, bro. I
Dude, their shit
love
is
the
hard. They
cannons.
even got the motherfucking ship in the background. That shit's
Man, that
tough,
shit, dude,
man. It's
the
hard.
cannon firing. Like, I wish that they fired the cannon at every game. Like, I wish that every time a touchdown got scored, cannons just got launched. Like,
Shooting
that
them
should
off.
just get.
Every first down, fuck it. Every
Dude,
first
I'm
down,
not.
shoot
Every
it off.
time there's a completion,
Coach
like,
win a
I would be.
challenge, blast it. Man, I'm
As a
telling you,
Bucks fan, I want to be
the
cannon
Bears,
operator.
we gotta fuck. That would be hard. We gotta replicate that somehow and get like oh my God, even like a Bass Pro Shop and you see the big bears that are like this. We gotta get just
Something.
a mega sized bear that just goes
I'm
type
telling you.
shit.
Like a big sound, like something that's like just saying like fire the cannons, like
Mhm.
that. Like we have bear down, like
Yeah.
that's our thing. But like
Third down is bear down. That shit's
yeah,
hard
but
though.
but like I want something that's like actual action. Like I want to
Yeah.
fucking fire a cannon, dude. Like shoot a cannon off in the sky or some shit.
Mm,
Just get reckless with it. And
mhm.
I fuck with that with the Bucks. That's probably my favorite aspect about them is the cannons.
Honestly.
But
Moving on past those fools though. What do we got next? Let me check to
yeah, the
see.
next one here
Oh,
we have
Jags
is
Colts.
Jags
Jags Colts.
Colts.
Man,
Oh,
what I like about this
Philip
right
Rivers.
now, Jags defense supposed to be really good. They let up 17 to the Colts. That is what it is. But Jags still, T Law is looking like a great QB again. I really, really like the way Trevor Lawrence has been playing. He's been playing like a number one pick. That offense looks really solid. I've been big on Jacoby Myers all year. Said that on the last pod. Travis Etienne, he got kind of shut down that game, which is okay because he's been playing great all year. This is
Yeah.
not a team you want to play in the playoffs by any means.
No, no, I totally agree. The Jags are going to be interesting. I am excited to see what happens with them. If the playoff bracket lands how it's currently folding out, if they play the Bills and beat them in the first round, that would
They
be
could though.
awesome.
The
And they
Bills,
could. They
we'll get to that
totally
game.
could.
We'll get to that game because the Bills have been fucking choking.
Oh my God, that
So
game was
bad. So bad. So I have
disgusting.
so much to say about that. So we'll just wrap this one up with Jags beat the Colts. What you expected. Philip is playing well. I saw his contract
As
for these
much as
four
he can
games.
get.
These contract it was like $236,000. I thought it would be a lot more. I guess it's only 4 games, but I thought it would be
Yeah.
more. But
They probably was like some real minor deal just to like get him on the
I
team.
saw people were speculating that it's also in the NFL, you have really, really great health insurance for your family. So people
Oh
are saying that
yeah,
he might be
all
put
those
on that too for the
kids.
year. Yeah, all those fucking kids, goddammit. More on the way.
Yeah,
But
that is
enough of
too
that
funny.
game right there. Shout out to the Jags, man. If you're a Jags fan, you got to be happy right now. They've been poverty for so long, but well,
Yeah,
not so long. They had a
Browns.
couple good years. Browns versus Steelers.
We already
Shador,
kind of
man.
recapped this.
Yeah, we already kind of recapped it.
Shador did get the dub though, hit the
He did.
Sully
He
for
did get the
Shador.
dub. He
I'll
did get the dub.
respect to him,
I love
and
Shador, man.
Steelers were petty, tried to stop the sacks.
So much so that they lost the game. But yeah, too much on that. Browns looking good. We'll keep an eye on Myles Garrett. Hopefully he gets the record back.
I like seeing records get broken. I think it's fun, especially when it's
Especially
like
it's
close and it's
yeah.
coming up. It's like, oh, is it gonna
It's also
happen?
it's like in our lifetime, which these records will all get broken again. But it'll be
Yeah,
nice to be an old head and be like, 15, 20 years from now, like I remember watching that. Like you kids don't know anything about Myles Garrett, like that type of shit. So that's always
yeah.
nice.
Although there's going to be 20 games in the season at some point in time, so
If they
eh,
do that,
everything's going to get ruined.
they're gonna really need to stick to that AWS and see what the fuck they can do about injuries because they've been at an all-time high this year. And that
Someone is going to,
AWS ain't doing shit. Well, congrats to them again. Shout out to
yeah,
Browns. Shout out Shador Miles. Next we got Giants Raiders, the ass bowl. I
yeah,
thought
the
this
one
game would be
seed
a lot
bowl
closer. I thought this
or
game
the
would be a
one.
lot closer than it was. The Raiders did not disguise that they don't give a fuck about anything right now. They pretty much went in there and tried their hardest to not score, and they were probably pissed when they did score 10. But yeah, Giants got it done. I saw some reports about what was it? The Giants maybe drafting a QB in this draft. They asked
I think
Jackson
that's a
Dart that.
horrible
I
idea.
think the media was just trying to get to him because even he was like, haven't heard anything about it. Like, next question. Like, he didn't really care.
Yeah,
Those aren't his words exactly, but he didn't really
I get
care. He
it though.
brushed it
Yeah,
off. And that would be really weird. I like Jackson Dart. I think he's got a lot of fire in him. I think that once they get Malik Neighbors back, um, they'll be better. They'll be a good team. They'll be a good team.
agreed. Yeah, no, Jackson Dart is a guy. He needs to stay.
It's Scat.
The Raiders need to be fined for what they did here. Like, I get the obviously teams, it's in their best interest to lose if they want draft positioning, but like the way they were being so blatant about it, I need some type of reformation for
I
this. Like, I
also
need to
feel
see someone
like
in trouble.
I get that tanking is a thing in all sports for picks, but there's got to be some type of okay, if you tank and we can prove that you tank, your salary cap for the next year is lowered by 10 million or 5 million. Like something like that
I
where
think it's fair.
it's not like a huge impact. It's not going to make or break your team, but it's definitely something now you have
Oh,
to think about who you have on the team, who you don't have on the team. If you get that little decrease in the salary cap, make you really think. Enough on that
yeah.
though. Giants go hard. I like Jackson Dart. I'm excited to see Giants back with
Moving on. Way too much about the
yeah,
Giants here.
honestly. Way too
Congrats to
much
the
on that.
Raiders. Congrats to the
Eagles
Raiders on the one
Bills.
seat, on the one
Yeah,
thing.
Eagles Bills ass bowl. People might say, "Oh, it was raining, it was this, it was that." That does not what's the word I want to use here? It doesn't excuse the amount of ass that was shown that game.
No, absolutely
Justin
not.
Hurts. Justin, yeah. Damn, I want to say Fields right there because he played like him. He didn't throw for a single yard in the second half. He
That's
didn't throw for a
horrible.
single yard.
If
That's
anyone who watched that game, like, you would be in awe of that second half.
let
What
Caleb Williams throw
was
for
that?
0 yards and a half. Oh my God. You
Yeah,
would
the
never hear
amount
the
of,
end of it.
yeah,
You
dear God.
never hear the end of it.
And I mean, Hertz is another person that gets a lot of shit, and I mean, I saw a
Rightfully
lot of stuff.
so.
I saw a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to his pass game,
Mhm.
and that's why. I mean, you wonder why people are like, this dude can't pass. What the hell was that?
And Josh Allen, with this guy, I feel like sometimes he tries to put on the cape too much, and it's because he's had to do it so often. The final play of the game with him was so bad. That little juke move into the run. First off, if you're gonna do that, just run it. You could have just maybe ran it there, but the hezzy into it, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the play from Josh Allen that
And
game.
and why go for two at the end? Like that, they just literally threw away that game. They would have won an OT. You didn't. Hurts did not throw for a single passing yard.
Think that was so stupid.
I know you're nerds on the sideline. We're telling you, you haven't given up a passing yard this whole half. Why wouldn't you take that knowledge, go into overtime, and win the game? You're at home. It's a
Yeah,
home game.
I know that people, what I was thinking was they had that PAT blocked earlier. So maybe they're tweaking about that, but
Dude, that
still,
kicker sucks.
he's
That kicker
bad.
is terrible. He got
He's
cut from the
really bad.
Colts earlier in the year. Like
Yeah.
a couple of these guys, like how do they keep getting new jobs?
They get
They were
picked up.
horrible
They get picked
in
up
their
right
last
away,
team. What?
and it's not they just get picked up and like we'll sit you down for a second. They get picked up and thrown right back to starting again. It's kind of insane. So
Yeah,
once again, not going to harp on it. Bills, if you do make the playoffs, Bills fans, be ready for another heartbreak. Unfortunately,
I think so
unfortunately.
too. Yeah, the Bills are in officially. They
Yeah.
are
Okay.
locked
Fair.
in.
Fair.
But I agree. Heartbreak is on the way, and I think it's at the hands of Jacksonville. If they play, you're in trouble, Josh Allen. From Josh to Josh. Listen to me, buddy. You're
Next
done.
up, we got the Niners and the Bears. 42-38. A lot to say about this game, but I wanted to start it by if you're a Bears fan, I don't think that we should feel any type of pain or hurt or resentment or anything for that game. That is the first time this season, underneath Ben Johnson, that we've been in a complete shootout of a game versus an
Yeah.
insanely good team. We went toe to toe with them and we lost on the very last play. Very, very impressive. This is Caleb's second year. This is our first year with Ben. To be in that type of game in a hostile environment and take them to the very end is impressive to me. I hang my hat on it, and I'll give it to the 49ers too. Although, if I had to see Brock Purdy hit Dougie one more time, I was gonna fucking
Dude,
lose it, dude.
oh
He hit
my,
it so many times. He hit it so many
every
times on us.
like, dude,
He hit it so many times.
you had a good game.
You
It's
got
fine,
motion,
but
bro. We got it, man. We
we
got it.
get a different Selly.
That's his
Like
only Selly. I don't think he's ever gonna
change your
change.
Selly up. Like what are we
Mm-mm.
doing? I don't want to see that damn Dougie Selly from you anymore. Respect to the Niners, that offense is legit
It's
as
cooking. It's
hell.
cooking.
Guns blazing. That
Shitty play by
offense
both defenses, though. Shitty play by
nasty.
both
Yeah,
of our defenses. I mean,
terrible. Bears defense is gonna have to lock in if they want to go far in the playoffs or really win any games. That defense is gonna have to be way better than that.
this
Way
did
better.
give me some confidence going into the playoffs, though, because at first I was like, man, some of these teams that are true competitors, they might just have too much firepower for us. But this game showed me that we can hang with just about anybody.
Yeah.
Defensively is where we're going to need to lock it in. We need to come together and get stops. I think at the end of that game, we did get a pretty big time stop and we forced them into a field goal, if I'm remembering correctly. But outside of that, we just got to find a way to get more stops down the stretch.
Yeah, I agree. It seems that our defense like has its moments, and obviously we lead the league in takeaways. We are doing something right there,
Mhm.
but it's just like we bleed so bad sometimes, and it's like,
Yeah,
please just stop. Like there's just always someone open. Like our coverage gets blown, and
especially in
I
the
know
middle of
we
the field. We give up the
like,
middle of the field probably more than any team in the league.
and I love Nashawn Wright. I really do, but the guy is a liability out there. Like it's just. Like he gets takeaways, he gets big plays, but like he gets absolutely fried. And
In coverage
anytime you
situations,
see a big play, majority of the time he was the one that was
or
guarding that guy.
Stevenson,
And
man.
yeah,
When he does get in, yeah.
and honestly, even like Jalen Johnson a little bit, like the since he's been back, our DBs have been a little sketchy in their play, and I get injuries have been a huge factor in all of that, but.
Hmm.
Bears need to find their deep footing on defense and like really dig in when it comes to the playoffs. And I these past couple weeks have been a huge confidence boost for going into the playoffs and really just the future of the Bears and
Yeah.
this Ben Johnson era. But it's got to be this offense has to be backed with at least a competent defense that is able to put their foot down and get a stop when they need to. Like that huge touchdown that ended up winning the game for the Niners at the end, like that play cannot be a touchdown. Like
Yeah.
how, like, and we just get fried like that on big plays. Our defense gives up huge plays like all the time. It's like we do great, and then it'll be third down, and then there's like a 40-yard pass completion.
It's just
Like,
a
oh,
dagger every single time, and you know
nice.
it's coming too. It's so bad that you can just see how we're lined up in coverage, and you can almost pick and point who they're going to target. Like we can see it, it's definitely different on the field, but we can see it. You know who they're going to go for, and it's just going to be open. There's nothing we can really do about it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. It was I'm not mad about it. It
No,
is what it is. In the
no.
moment, I was a little like, damn, like I really wanted to win
In
that,
the
but
moment, it
it,
hurt because it was a winnable game, and I didn't expect it to
yeah,
be that winnable. Like we had it there. I know you probably saw the reports and all the videos of DJ Moore jumping up and down in the end zone. Anybody that thinks Caleb can make that pass is a dumbass. And that's
hell
not even
no,
harping on Caleb.
no one,
That is
no one
saying
is
any
making that
QB
pass.
in the league, you need a fucking cannon to be facing this way, and then you randomly spot someone, you completely contort your body and throw all the way across your body to that side of the field. No, I think what DJ should have done right there, and I know you're not supposed to leave your routes, your QB expects you to be there, but you got to come to the ball a little bit more. Granted, Caleb still probably wouldn't have hit you. He's being fucking pressured to hell right there. But
Yeah,
the jumping up and down, anybody who says, "Oh, he missed him," you're a dumbass. He's not fucking
no, he
making that
didn't.
throw. You can't
No, he
realistically
didn't.
expect him to make that throw.
Yeah, hell no. No QB in the league can make that throw. No one who's ever played QB can make that throw. He was running the opposite direction. He would have had to
Pressured as
turn,
fuck.
yeah, multiple people in his face. He would have to turn his body like completely, practically, and just launch it the other way. Like there is no chance in hell
The only
that
way he
he was
could have
completing
ever
that
done
pass.
something like that is if it wouldn't be a dart, it would just float it up. It would be a floater, and even that, he's got to float it so hard that it could get picked. It's just gonna be hanging in the air right there. This is
Yeah,
impossible. It's
forever.
just not
Yeah,
gonna work.
no.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
No, and I hate when people do that. Like, if you open up any film ever of any play, you could look at it and nitpick, like, oh, well, for a split second here, this person popped open, or like this person was available, or this or that. Like, okay, when you pause it or when you slow down the footage, it's easy to
Yeah,
see
this is
that.
game
Like,
time. You got two big 6'4" guys, 300 something pounds running at you. He's not gonna be able to see or make that throw. There's no
yeah.
way.
No, it's the dumbest thing ever. Like, oh, it's a still image. Like, let me just circle every
You could
person
have went
that
right
doesn't
here.
have someone
Yeah,
next
well,
to
when
it.
you're in game time, that right here happens in the course of like 0 to 4 seconds. Like you don't
Yeah,
have the time to really
exactly.
make that.
It's literally like a little frame, and then they're covered again, or they're closed. Like this, these are pro athletes. This is pro defense. Like it's stupid. I every time I see that, especially, and I feel like it's every time we like, especially any game that we've lost on one possession, which last year was all the time. There just every time there's just a bunch of videos of that, and it's like,
What are
why?
we talking
Why
about
is this
here?
even a thing? Like, why do we even need to do this? Like, and this is just the dumbest. Like, it's not. What are we even proving, really? Like, cool, cool. But yeah, but yeah. The next one here is we can move into the final game of Week 17, which is going to be last night's performance, which was actually an insane game out of nowhere. I insane because it's a fantasy championship, but it is like just a ridiculous, weirdly good game from a terrible team that it means nothing to, and a team that's like supposed to be a Super Bowl favorite.
That
Not Niners.
game was so uncharacteristic from Stafford. I've never seen anything like that. Three picks. I swear some of those picks too were like one of them was a deep ball on first down thrown in a double coverage for absolutely no reason. There's no reason for that throw. Played like shit. Puka still played really well. Kyron, well, he didn't get as many targets that I would like him to get, and some of them were a bit uncatchable, but Puka still played really well. Kyron Williams played extremely good ball. The Rams decided to not play in that game until like the third quarter, midway through. They were like, okay, let's actually get ourselves back into this game. Their head coach said that they are going to be playing all the starters next week due to it. I wish they
Makes
would have fucking
sense.
played this week because it was
Yeah,
just horrible. You got beat by the fucking Falcons. Bad. You let Bijan Robinson have his way with you. 229, 2 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins threw for 126 and a passing touchdown. Um, Not a lot to say about this game. This game pissed me the fuck off. The Rams didn't want to play in that game until the third quarter, like I said, which is just really shitty. Um, Falcons got the dub though. Team I thought was ass and had no chance of winning. So hats off to them. If you are a Falcons fan, that's got to feel good going forward. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, it
Stafford lowered himself in the MVP race because of it. I feel like now Drake May is definitely the favorite. So
Yeah, I would agree. I think like it was the weirdest game ever from Stafford. Never expected him to play like that, like three picks,
against
especially
the
after the
Falcons too,
when the first one happened and it was a pick six. I was like,
he's
wow.
gonna
I,
lock
I
in.
was I was even like shocked by that, and like I saw him like staying on the sideline. It seemed like he was like really focused and like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm not letting that get to me. I'm moving on. And then the second one happened, and I was like, what is happening? And
Yeah,
then it's like 13 to or 14-0 or
it went
yeah,
21 to nothing going into the half. I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
So.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like 21-0 at the half, like I was like, what is going on in this game? I genuinely couldn't believe my eyes, and like just to see the Rams perform like that. And
It
then
was
that
so
blocked kick.
uncharacteristic, dude. The block kick to the touchdown was insane, gave them life.
I thought they were gonna win after that for sure. I thought
Yeah,
like the tide completely shifted. You could feel all the momentum was on their side.
they just
And
ran
then
out
it's
of
just
time
like,
in that game. They just ran out of time, unfortunately. So another thing that was so uncharacteristic, they had so much time going into that final drive, along with, well, not the final drive, the drive before that, I'm pretty sure. They had so much time. Didn't call any timeouts, didn't do anything, even before the half. Before the fucking half, they had a minute 40. They're on like the opposing 30, 40 yard line. Had a minute 40, all three timeouts. They don't move the ball a single yard, and they run out the half without using a single timeout. That's not winning football. You could have at least tried for a field goal with a minute 40 and 3 touchdowns. That's why I promise you, they didn't fucking even try in this game until the third, like midway through the third. The end of the half, even the commentators were like, I definitely would have liked to see a field goal or something there. You got 3 timeouts, you know? What are we
yeah,
doing? So
no, it
I could talk about that game all day. That shit pisses me off so much, but shouts out to the Falcons and Falcons fans. I mean, you got to feel good after beating a potential Super Bowl winner. At least a playoff
yeah.
team, and you guys aren't a playoff team, so that's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, this year has been kind of just like shattered dreams for Falcons fans. I'd be very upset. They had the easiest strength of schedule going into the year, and then it turned into it turned into they
A shit
just
show.
were terrible. Michael Penix ended up not being that guy, and then his season got ended, and now Kirk Cousins is like randomly having a resurgence a little bit. Like he
Just a
looks kind
little
of
bit,
good.
yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, I agree. I mean, just to keep it, rounded.
Yeah.
Shout out Falcons and Rams. You're gonna have to step it up. You're gonna have to look a lot better. They need Devontae Adams back. I think that he
That hurt them
really
a
is.
lot. That hurt them a lot because they were, I don't want to say in the end zone a few times, they were moving the ball a few times, and there were some slant routes that if Devontae Adams were in, you know that he was going to get that ball,
Oh yeah.
especially
Oh yeah.
close to the end zone like that. So, yeah, still, I don't think it should have impacted them, especially to the point where Stafford is just chucking the ball up and getting 3 picks. That's inexcusable as a team. No wonder their starters are playing next week. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Facts.
that's all I have on
Facts.
that game.
Absolutely. So I figured it would be fun if we dove into for the next segment here. Why don't we dive into we could do our own little bracket challenge, but with the playoffs. Now, it is a little early, of course. We don't have the official playoff
Seedings,
bracket.
everything. Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? We'll come back and revisit this next week, and we can make some tweaks as well as, adjustments as we need to.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it would be fun just to kind of go through here and see what we think. What's the pick for each game?
Let's just start from the top. Let's start from take a
Yeah.
look at over here in
N-
the NFC. Uh,
Niners, Panthers.
Niners, Panthers.
Yeah, so technically this could be Niners or this could be Panthers or this could be the Bucks as well as on the other side, if the Niners win next week against the Seahawks, it would be Seahawks playing in this game. I am pretty confident it will work out in the way that it's going to be Niners versus Panthers. I feel pretty good about that.
If
What do
that's
you
the
think?
case, I'm agreeing with you there, and I'm taking the Niners all day, every day right here. I'm taking them
Yeah,
all day, every day. CMC is going to feast on them. I'm taking them all day. That's easy money.
yeah, it would be kind of fun. This is CMC's old team. So, and they did get to play earlier in the year, and he was
Yeah,
clearly they were clearly feeding him a little bit more than, I mean, they pump him the ball all game no matter what. But
all the time. Yeah.
I do think it would be a fun playoff match, especially if it is the Panthers at home. That would
hmm
be really that would be really funny.
hmm
But yeah, so we got Niners moving on there. Next one on the list, Rams versus Eagles. This one, this is a good
I'm
game.
going
This is a
to
good game.
take.
Rematch from
This is
last
going to
year.
be so good. Yeah, it's going to be a great game if it works out this way. I'm taking Rams. I'm taking Rams
Yeah,
over Eagles just because I, despite Stafford's last performance, I trust him more to get it done than Jalen Hurts, especially this year. Maybe
all
last
day.
year, well, not even maybe. Last year was a different case for this Eagles team. I'm taking the Rams all day to advance on.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Rams, that feels like very obvious, and I feel like the odds on that are going to be pretty, maybe not heavily slanted, because at the end of the day, it is the Eagles. They are the reigning champs. But this Rams team, man, when they are on and if things are working out, like,
They still just did, granted, it
team.
was the Falcons, but they did just come back from that fucking 21 nothing. A game that they
Yeah,
were completely blown in the water. Their defense stepped up in the end too. That alone, it just makes me feel like they're coming out of that on top.
yeah, I agree. I'm going with the Rams as well. I'm rocking with that. On the next one here, it is our boys, the Bears versus the Packers, the rivalry in the fourth time or third or fourth time that we have faced off in the playoffs in history. So,
I'm
big one here.
definitely, of course, it's a little bit biased, but I'm taking the Bears here because at this point, I do think Jordan Love is going to be back, and I think we have Jordan Love's number. I think that the reason why the Packers were able to hang with us so well the last game is because we didn't game plan for Willis. We had no game plan for him being able to run the ball and throw the ball. We had a game plan for Jordan Love, though. As you can see, when he was in the game, we were locking him up. I mean, there wasn't much he could do. I think that first off, we're gonna have a home game for this too. So I
Yeah.
think that alone, the city's gonna be rocking. I actually plan to come visit you in Chicago if that happens. We gotta go to a bar or something. I'm taking the Bears in that game all day, every day. I would love to see Caleb underneath the bright lights and see him perform, and I think he's gonna be able to.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this game. I'm so excited to see Caleb play in a playoff game and just get the chance to get playoff experience and just the team in general. Like so many young guys on this roster. We have a lot of sophomores and rookies. Like all of these guys just getting this playoff experience so young and like so fresh. I think that this is just really going to mold our team and like really put us in a spot to succeed going forward. I'm so excited to see what the future holds for the Bears. If we do win this game, not excited to see our next game
Yeah.
against the Rams. If that is the case, that's going to
But if
be
it
a
is the
vicious
Eagles
matchup.
though, if it is the Eagles who we've already beat, we might be looking at an NFC championship game. That's the thing, man. If
Yeah,
it is the Eagles, I do think we could beat them again. I don't think the first game was a fluke. I don't think so at all.
yeah,
Just
no,
a heads
I
up
agree.
here for the next
I
10
agree.
to
It's
15
crazy,
minutes. Josh's
and
audio will
we
be
just
messed
see
up, so you
like
won't be
bear
hearing
down.
much from
Maybe
him
that's
here.
all I
Definitely
can
bear down
say.
for that one. Yes, sir.
I'm thinking
I think this is going to be the Ravens instead of the
the
Steelers.
Steelers are playing against the Ravens to decide who's going to be in.
I think that the
Yeah,
Ravens are going to
so
bring back
sadly,
Lamar just for
he
this
had an
game. A lot of people
amazing
are
game
calling for
out there,
Lamar to be
and not
sat,
really
do whatever, whatever.
amazing. It
I
was
think he's coming back
really
for this
Derrick
game.
Henry.
He
Crazy,
didn't
but
play
like
well at all. He was a game manager. He didn't turn the
he did
ball
his
over.
job.
That's what's
He did
important.
his job. He was running well. Like there was multiple plays with like he scrambles well. I'll give
Mhm.
that to him. Like here's the QB that I do. I like he can get out of the pocket and get some space. But if it is Chargers versus Ravens, even if it's Chargers versus Steelers,
I'm taking Chargers. Unless
yeah,
it's Chargers versus Ravens. If it's Chargers
I can see the
Ravens,
Ravens winning. But
I
if it's the
yeah.
Steelers, I could see the Chargers. I think that that is pretty valid. I like the Ravens there. Weirdly, I don't know. Like after that win they just had, like Yeah, Derrick Henry went insane, but I feel like that just does something to your team. When you get a big win like that, and like you got the cheese grater hat floating around, like that means
Especially for a team that's been, down in the dumps for a big part of this season. Didn't really pan out the way you wanted it to so far. I think they got a lot to play for, and just making it to the playoffs when they've been fighting for so long is definitely
something.
going to give the team some energy.
Yeah, yeah. No, that one will be. I think that'll be a good game too. That one will be fun to watch. It'll be probably like one of the first couple games that gets played. And I mean,
Mhm.
last year Herbert in the playoffs was horrible. I think he threw 4 interceptions against the Texans in that first
He's really
game.
bad.
So,
That's that
so we'll
Texans
see.
D though. But yeah,
We will
going
see.
forward though, we got the Bills and the Jags. Man, I'm just not a believer in the Bills this year. I'll be completely
Neither.
honest. There's no way. I take the Jags in this all day. They're a way better team this year, at least. Their players are playing way better. The Bills don't have anybody outside of Josh Allen and James Cook. The Jags also have an extremely underrated defense. Their defense is very,
Dude,
very fucking good.
that defense is sneaky. They're
It's
ferocious.
solid.
Yeah.
They're very solid. The AFC, they definitely have a way shittier teams than the NFC do, but their teams have really good defense. Almost each of these teams, outside of the Bills again, but almost each of these teams that we've talked about have pretty solid defenses. Even the Chargers, they got really solid D too.
Yeah.
Um, Going forward
Honestly,
though, well, who would you take in that? I'm taking Jags.
me as well. I like the Jags. The same reasons as you. Don't really believe in the Bills, and I think that it's
It
just
does feel
they're
that
just
way.
another one of
It
those
does,
teams that's been really good in
especially
the
for
AFC for a
them.
while, and
It's
I think that
just,
their
I don't
time
know.
I
of
think they missed
theirs
their
is
See
coming
what
window.
to an end.
They
Yeah,
happens.
missed their window.
it does. We'll see what happens. I'm rocking with the Jags there. I like the Jags.
Yeah, we'll take the
Um,
Jags there. Next, we have the Texans versus the Pats. Now, I've said it all year, the Texans are not a team you want to see in the playoffs.
especially a
If you're
team like this
but the
that's not
Patriots though,
experienced.
man, the Patriots, I don't think Drake May is going to cave underneath the lights. I do believe that the Patriots could beat the Texans in a playoff game. I really do,
So now moving on
especially
to the
one that's
next
in New
round into the
England. It's very
divisional,
Stroud
Look,
we will move
dependent.
back onto the
The
yeah,
other
defense is
side
going to
I would
play
here.
agree.
We
well.
are
That was just what
expecting
I
to
was about to
see
say.
the Seahawks versus the 49ers.
Participation here, which would also be a theoretical matchup from Week 18. And I honestly like the Niners.
I like the Niners here, but that Seahawks defense is serious. I think that they're
Yes,
going to find a way to make Brock Purdy beat them that's not throwing checkdowns to Christian McCaffrey.
I
I think
know.
that this defense is going to ramp up to the max. And your game plan has to be to shut down McCaffrey and make Brock Purdy beat you with Juwan Jennings or Pearsall or any of those people that they may have. Do they have Pearsall, right? Am I tweaking?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
they do
got
have
this.
Pearsall. He was going
Yeah, he,
crazy last game.
yes, he played well.
Yeah. I'm taking Seahawks in this one though.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. It'll be interesting. I just don't know how much I trust Sam Darnold. I think that's like the main thing I'm
That's
worried
true.
about.
Given his history too. Given his history, it's very, very true. He shits the bed in these type of moments. But have we seen Brock Purdy in the? I'm trying to think back. Man, this one is another game that's heavily dependent on the defense and what they can do to alter the game.
That one's going to be a really good game. I'm excited to see who it is. If it ends up being the Panthers who they're playing, it's going to be kind of lame. I think it's going to work out a lot like what happened this week between the Seahawks and Panthers, where it's just kind of like a Bryce Young ends up has one good game and then one bad game the next week, and then it just ends up being like that was a huge waste of time and not
Yeah,
very exciting. So I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I sounds like you're leaning Seahawks for that one.
I'm leaning Seahawks there. I
I
am.
like it.
You still leaning 49ers?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers. It is a bold pick, but I think the 49ers are going to be that team I see as like that weird Cinderella story this year. I could see them being the
Yeah,
one.
you think they could make it all the way to the playoffs? Not all the way to the playoffs, all the way to the Super Bowl? After that,
That beyond that, I don't know. We're gonna get into that.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
But yeah, on the next game, we both chose the Rams to play the Bears in that divisional. And I unfortunately I think I would give this to the Rams.
It's got to go to the Rams here. It's got to go to the Rams. Unfortunately, that offense has way too much firepower for our defense. And we just saw that even if you do force Stafford to make mistakes and get 3 turnovers, they can get back into the game. You know what I mean? That's what they just
Yeah.
proved. Their defense locked in. Unfortunately, it's going to be the Rams, and it could be the Rams by a wide margin, as much as it sucks to say. They could
Yeah.
completely dominate that game.
I hope that's not the case. I am
Yeah.
fearful that something like that happens just because we are such an inexperienced team and like just sometimes that happens with squads. They kind of just aren't ready for the playoffs and they kind of get shocked and it's just a bad game. I really don't want that to happen. That would be really sad. I don't think expectations in the playoffs should be very high for Bears fans. I think this
Mhm.
is about as high as I personally am willing to have them.
Which is
I,
still, that's fucking
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Like you've been saying all season, we're playing with house money this season. I think everyone going into this for the Bears expected us anywhere between 4 to 6 wins would have been fucking fantastic. That would have been fine. To be at where we're at is such a surprise, and that's even why that last game versus the Niners, you can't harp on that too much. We're a great squad, but this is where our greatness meets experience greatness. You know what I mean? And we might
Yeah.
learn a hard lesson here.
Yeah. No, I agree. It'll be it's a good test, and it'll be a good team to play. You know, against Sean McVay as well as Matt Stafford on our against our defense and that whole
Hmm.
offense. So it'll a great test for us and like a good, I think, building block towards success in the future. That could be that smack in the mouth that really sets us on fire in the off season
Hmm.
and really lets us like just take things to that next level and become that real Super Bowl contender team that we definitely can be. So I'm
Yeah,
excited. Even if we don't win, I'll be happy. I'll still be
it'll
happy with.
be fun to just watch that game go down. That's what I think. It'll just be really
Agreed.
nice.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree. And we'll be at home, so there is a chance maybe we'll be at Soldier Field in the freezing
Hmm.
cold against a team in Cali. So
That'd be awesome. That would be
who
awesome.
knows? Who knows? But yeah, on the next game here, we had either Chargers or Ravens, depending on who ends up in
Makes
that
it.
game. But I think regardless, this is a Broncos win.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It doesn't even
I
matter.
don't.
Broncos are gonna win that game, 10 times out of 10. No matter who they play, no matter where they play, which is gonna be home, obviously. But the Broncos are gonna win that one. Don't even need to debate that one. That's gonna be Broncos all day.
Yeah, I would take that as well. Broncos just way too good. They have had a great year. They played really well. They have barely beat a lot of like not so great teams, but I don't know. I still trust them. I especially because whoever they're going to play up against is going to be like between
They're
either
kind of mid.
The Steelers, the
Hmm.
Ravens, and the Chargers. I'm not crazy about any of those rosters. Like those are all kind of
Hmm.
teams that are like especially the state of the Chargers right now with how banged up they are. That's like okay, whatever. That's not really a team I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy for.
I'm taking Denver in that game.
Yeah,
Looking ahead, we got the Jags versus the Pats, which this is going to be more of a battle than people think. I think that this is going
it'll
to
be
be
awesome.
haymaker after haymaker. And the thing is, I think this is where Drake May meets his match. I really do. I like the way the
That's what I
Jags have
was
been
gonna say.
playing. They've proven that they can win games. If Trevor Lawrence continues to stay hot and heat up, I gotta take him. I love Jacoby Myers. BTJ, I don't know if he is battling an injury right now. I think he got a little banged up not too long ago, but
He was
still,
in that
ETN,
game.
T Law, he was in the last game.
Yeah, he
I
was
wonder
out
if
there.
I thought I saw something that he got banged up a little bit, but I could be wrong. Regardless, though, I'm taking Jags for this game.
Yeah, I like the Jags. The Jags went from being a team that I like wasn't too crazy about to like I like them now.
I really
Honestly.
like them. Their guys are solid guys. You don't hear about them a lot in the media. They stay well rounded, and they play great football. They play great quiet football. You don't really hear a lot of shit about them. I like them as a team. To be doing this with a first-time head coach, I was gonna say very similar to the Bears, which it is. It's very similar to the Bears situation right now. So
Yeah,
I like them. I like the Jags.
yeah. Give me the Jags so that we have our final four set there. So
Bit
the
of a
first,
difference there between the
yeah, the
Niners and
Seahawks.
the Hawks. Yeah,
Yeah, so either one of those two teams versus the Rams, a little inner division matchup. And then we have on the other side it would be the Broncos versus the Jags would be
Jags.
this hypothetical here. So in the NFC game, I really like the Rams to come out. I just think overall I just don't know if I trust like yes, both the Niners and the Seahawks have both beat them. I don't trust either of those teams to consistently beat them. Like, I don't think that's something that they could come out and do again easily. I think that those are two
Yeah.
teams that are afraid to play the Rams again. I don't know. And yeah, they have played twice and split them, but I think in a tiebreaker, the Rams win both of those games.
I'm taking the Rams to come out of it too. I For a minute, I was gonna say, if I was wrong and the Niners did make it this far, then they would just be rolling to the point to where I could see them in the Super Bowl if they
It
made
could
it
be
out that
possible.
second round. That's the thing. And, not to believe in he say, she say, whatever, whatever, but when you look at the emblem for the Super Bowl, pretty sure it's a Golden Gate Bridge this year. Now, they've done that type of shit in the past, and there's all these conspiracies about the colors on it and shit like that, and it typically works out that way. I mean, as much as the NFL wants to say it doesn't, but this time around, I'm a little bit 50-50 if the Niners make it this far. I'd like them to get to the Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, the Rams have been playing great football. They just proved what they could do. The Rams are going to be in the Super Bowl. If they're
Yeah.
not in the Super Bowl, then it would be very surprising.
Yeah, I really think if it's not the Rams, it is going to be either the Niners or the
The
Seahawks.
Niners,
It
yeah.
just really seems like at this point in time, it's
Mm.
one of those three teams. I don't, and the other team, if it's not one of those three, the Cinderella dark horse out of that group, I would say is the Bears. I would actually say is like the Bears get hot and we conquer a couple giants in a row, and then we end up like in the NFC Championship game and like
And
fuck
the thing
around and
is,
win.
it's not that crazy to think. I don't think it should be any Bears expectations at all.
No,
But it's
no,
not that crazy to think that we could make a really good Super Bowl push because if we're in a game with any of these teams, it's winnable. It's not
yeah,
like we're dead to water. Even if we go down like 14-0, I still think that we're in it versus any of these teams outside of maybe the Seahawks and maybe the Rams. Outside of that, I think any team we play, if we go down 2 scores, I'm not too worried about it. We'll make it a game still. But regardless,
yeah,
coming out of the NFC, we got Rams. Rams all day.
yeah. I agree. I think that the Rams are going to be that team that pops out. They're going to be the one that finally makes it through in the end. And I would say on the other side, the team that faces them, give me the Jags. Give me the Jags.
The Jags,
A Super Bowl
I like
appearance
it.
from the Jags. That would be a crazy. I just the AFC is a toss up. I really do think it's going to be anyone's
It's a
game,
huge
and I
toss
would
up.
love to see it be a unique team like the Jags, someone that is not a historical Super Bowl appear. Like the Broncos had their run with the Elway years, like the Steelers have had their runs, the Bills, they've never won any, but they've had their runs, like these are like if it was the Texans, the Jags, or the Chargers, I think I would be happy with any of those three teams being the one that makes it out. I want to see something
I
fun.
would like I would like not only any of those 3 teams to make it out, but I would like if any of them won. I wouldn't be like a salty Super Bowl win. I think it would be great for all 3 of those organizations. And going forward for them, what they've been able to go through, especially if it were the Texans, just how they battled to get there, it
That would
would
be
just be more
crazy.
impressive than anything. It would be way more impressive than anything.
Yeah, they would definitely have to get a
So,
special ring made custom for Davis Mills's neck. Just a massive championship ring.
get him
Just
a choker ring.
it's just like a
So we
big.
got right now, we got fucking Jags and Rams Super Bowl. Who's coming out of that?
Ultimate winner. I I don't know. I don't
That would be
know.
such a good Super Bowl. It
It
would
would
be
be a
such
really
a
good
good
game.
Super Bowl.
I realistically, I trust Matt Stafford way more than Trevor Lawrence. I think my money would be on the Rams in that Super Bowl, and I do think they would be a good favorite as well. Even though it would be, well, no, it would be on a neutral site. It's a Super Bowl, but it would be interesting. Oof, yeah. I think I would rock with the Rams. I think I would trust them, but I would trust the Jags to cover. I think it'd be a good game.
I think it would be a really good game. I don't think it would be a blowout. I think it would come down to the final few possessions. Still, I gotta take Rams there just to win it all. I think that they have been my favorite since maybe the halfway point of the season, and
Yeah,
I
they
gotta
just
take
look
the Rams
so
to win
good.
it all.
I agree. Rams Super Bowl. They have been anointed here first on the Studio 264 podcast. The official pre-official Super Bowl champions are the LA Rams. Now, will it happen? Only time will tell. I would love to see just like a miraculous Bears Super Bowl appearance. Even if we lost the
I was
Super
just gonna
Bowl,
say,
I would
yeah,
I would be like, if we were even in it, I would just be like, this is the most amazing thing ever. Like, whatever. We're here. I'm just happy that we're here.
my quote unquote unrealistic expectation still involves the Jags, and it would be a Bears versus Jags Super Bowl, and I think it would be a great game. I think that that would be amazing to watch. Is it something that we should expect? Hell no. At least for the Jags. The Jags, yes. I think they could make it that far. The
I do.
Bears, we would have to scrap. We would have to scrap to get there. But if we did, it would be a great game to play against the Jags.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. I'm excited for the playoffs. I'm excited even just to watch Week 18, kind of see how this season wraps up. It is sad that it is coming to an end, but it's
Mhm.
been a great year. It has been a good football season, especially as Bears fans. Couldn't have asked honestly for a better year personally. But yeah, I mean it's just been awesome. I'm excited to see where it goes.
All right, everybody. So those are our picks for the Super Bowl. If they hit and you bet on it, we'll drop the Venmos in the link below. Outside of that, though, we appreciate you guys for sticking with us throughout this, and go Bears.
Yep, bear down, baby, and happy New Year.
Bear down, baby. Happy New Year. Have a good one.